I mean, it's funny because that is like the next topic.
It is, yeah.
It is the next topic. So you know what, man? You got to pay that man his money, bro. Now, was that Jerry Dulac, right? I think, yeah, Jerry Dulac was the one who reported earlier this week that the deal should be happening. Was it right after the preseason game against the Panthers? And obviously the debate came back up about 30 mil. Oh man,
I'm more concerned.
Go for it though.
Or my thoughts were, was this the deal the whole time? Was this going to happen the whole time? Because just to nonchalantly tweet this out after the Panthers game, deal's going to be done.
Yeah.
Was this just the plan? We're not going to make a deal. TJ's just going to sit out.
If that was the plan, I am very upset about that plan.
Really?
I am, because TJ is a player that he plays his best when he has a full camp. He plays his best when he practices. He plays his best when he has a chance to continue to work. He is no different than JJ Watt. JJ Watt is obsessed with working. When JJ Watt is at his best is when he's healthy, but he's a workaholic. And TJ, for day one, he's always been like that. To essentially play this game of, hey, TJ, you're not going to take team reps. Like, that's not going to help TJ get better. That's not going to keep TJ hot. That's not going to help TJ hit the ground running. So that's why for me, I was more frustrated with it, because I looked at it and I said, well, we had a scenario like this. Now, granted, it was different because it was the franchise tag with L. Bell, the first one, where he set out all the training camp and came back that opener against Cleveland. And we talked about how it was mixed reviews early in the season with him. Even if he played well, he had nagging injuries a little bit early on. He wasn't the same player. It took him some time to get up to speed. So my thing is, if you knew that you were going to pay this man anyways, well, why not go ahead and take care of that when we first came to training camp, so he can make sure that he's not having to deal with any slow starts, any exposure to injury, because he hasn't done any team reps. Like, it's a difference. And me personally watching him work on the sideline, it's even more of a difference when I'm looking at the drills that he's doing with the people he's doing them with, and knowing what it's going to take when he puts these pads on and he's going against guys that are actually going to be pulling against him, the tugging and stuff like that. I'm like, yo, that's not, I don't like that idea. I don't, but you can't go back, you know? You can't, what's the case? Can't change the past. Yeah, you can't change the past. So he's got to deal with it. But man, I was not a fan of that. If that was the case, now they haven't said that was, but if that was the case, I wasn't.
I just have a feeling it is. Just
it could be
for them to nonchalantly a week before the preseason
Mm-hmm.
game, like, hey, this deal's going to get done after the Panthers game. He's going to be the highest paid defensive player in the league. Because why not just sign it whenever he tweeted it out? If it was that like set in stone, or if he feels like, oh, the deal's just going to get done.
Exactly.
From the Steelers standpoint, I get it, because you're coming from a player.
I'm coming from both perspectives. Actually.
A little bit, but what I'm saying is, like, you just signed to do the 30 mil. Mm-hmm. I could see why you're just like, I don't really want you doing some of this stuff that's meaningless at the end of the day. It's not meaningless though. That's I get it.
You
but
tell me it's meaningless. I'm like, it's
if
not.
You're getting injured like that, that's gonna really suck.
We're talking about practice, aren't we? So what is the difference between TJ Watt going out there and practicing with the exact same people we've been practicing with today, yesterday, or all last week, 2 weeks from now? What's the difference? He's still going to be lined up next to Cam Hayward or Stephon Tuitt or Tyson Alualu. He's only going to be going against who? Dan Moore or Chooks Okorafor, he'll be going against Zach Banner he'll be going against Banner because he will be going against Banner because I'm flipping it. He's on that side, so he'll be going against the same people in practice. It's not like he would have been going against the 2s or the 3s or the 4s. No, you don't have your starters out there with those guys because of the injury risk. Those guys fall down. Starters, guys who are legit NFL players, they don't fall in practice. So you don't have those guys out there at the same time. So to me, that whole narrative, I don't agree with, because you weren't going to play TJ in the preseason anyway. But Ben Roethlisberger, for example, right? Ben is out there practicing. If you're going to make a case for somebody that really didn't need that, I feel strongly about Ben not needing that than TJ, just because of the sheer longevity of Ben and how much he's already seen. And the fact that for him,
I guess just those practice reps are a little bit different, though. QB versus outside linebacker.
But in the
physicality is a lot less.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, so it makes even more sense why you would have, if you were going to just say, oh, all right, well, this is the guy that, he doesn't need any reps because it doesn't matter physically. He doesn't have to get in like game shape. He doesn't have to get prepared for the pull and all the other janky that goes with it. Yeah. But with TJ, how many times have we seen him get held? Every single time he's rushing, right? We always say, oh, he's holding this. Hey, man, somebody's holding him. You know, one of the biggest things that lead to hamstring pulls? Guys being held. Because your full momentum is going this way. And when somebody pulls you, it stops. It's no different if you're on the interstate and I pull the emergency brake. Like, it jacks you up. That happens to TJ a lot. But when you're practicing and you're getting accustomed to it, your body gets acclimated to that. And now when it's happening in the games and you've already built up a callousness to it, you built up a harden to that, it doesn't have the same effect on you. Right now, TJ hasn't had the chance to build up that because hasn't been out there doing team practices. He hasn't been out there in full pads doing these as well. It's been drill work on the side with the coach, with the trainer. Not even like a main coach, like a strength coach. That's not getting him prepared. That's all I'm saying. So if that was the mindset, and it does seem like that because of how Jerry just casually tweeted it out, I'm just like, yo, I don't like that. I really don't, man.
Like the deal could have been done a couple weeks earlier. You don't think he'll be up to speed, though, over these next few weeks?
We'll see.
Be enough?
We'll see. I hope so.
Just with how good he is. That's what I'm guessing.
I hope so. I'm not, for me, I don't think talent-wise is ever going to be a question. I'm more concerned about his condition, not condition in terms of cardio, but your small tissue body, those muscles, you can't get them in shape for football without playing football. That just is what it is. First time he puts on them pads and runs around, whether it's next week or 2 weeks from now, guaranteed. Now, it's not going to come with an injury report, but groin's going to be tight. Absolutely, it's going to be tight because it's the first time you're doing it. You got to go through that phase. Hammy's going to be tight. Back gets tight. That always happened the first 2 weeks putting the pads on. It doesn't make you a less athlete or anything like that. But the difference is this. In training camp, when you're going through that phase, it's the first week. And the coaches take care of you. If you're a vet, you're not taking all those reps in practice. You're not playing any of those preseason games. So we're going to give you a grace period for your acclimation. When it's the season, I can't protect you in game 1. I can't tell hey, TJ, man, look, we know you just came back. And if this was normal, man, we'll rotate you in out a little bit, man, ease you on in. But we just gave you this new contract. I know you said all the training camp, but go out here and play 60 snaps. Like, that's what you're exposing him to. That's why, for me, I'm just like, I don't like how they handled it. I'm glad that he's going to get his money, but I just feel like they should have done it earlier.
Yeah, if that's the case. Because the other side of me still understands why there would be just negotiation, stalemate, basically, because the Steelers, I could see why you're concerned about paying him $30 million. TJ Watt, I could see why you want $30 million.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was. I thought that was it. I thought that was it this whole time, but how nonchalantly the tweet was sent out makes me think was like, is this just planned? Like, it's just going to happen at the end of preseason?
Right. Like, I just don't get it, man.
I don't know which way I lean. It was just more of a thought that came to mind, which I understand from the Steelers organization standpoint of like just saying, hey, I don't want you risking anything. We're paying you $30 million. But I trust me, I get everything that you're saying in terms of injuries, soft tissue, and all that.
But going back to the organization's side, what is the difference in you being under contract and we just simply saying, TJ, you're having a day off? Ben doesn't have to not be under contract to not practice. Cam doesn't have to not be under contract to not practice. That's what I'm saying. Like, it didn't have to be that. That's what I mean.
Isn't it TJ's mentality, though, where he, like, never takes days off?
Exactly, yeah. That's my thing. It's like, and he's still technically under contract. That's why he has to show up every day. So, like, I just don't understand, like, that mindset of, we just make sure he would never practice at all in training camp. Like, I just don't get it, man. I mean, but that could be it. And I hope it works out. I don't want my man to ball out on a depot. Like, that's what he deserves. That's what he needs to do. But you open up the door for that by the way this been handled. Yeah. No different when we talk about, okay, Devin Bush, he's probably going to have a slow start. You missed a ton of time at OTAs. We'll go back and forth, right? Oh, he's Devin Bush. He don't need practice. He's good. Top 10 pick. He's good. You see him in the game with no practice. We're like, bro, should we get another guy in here? Practice. You got to practice. Like, that's the only way to keep getting better at football. Tom Brady, one of the greatest players to ever do it. He still practices daily. Daily. That's all I'm saying, man.
I don't know if my opinions change on it, though. I still don't feel good about it. I still feel like you got to do it, though.
The 30?
The problem with saying, here's the other thing I was thinking about, though. You don't have to do it because we talked about how the Steelers have all the leverage.
Yeah, you don't.
I don't necessarily want to piss off TJ, though, this year.
You don't, but you have to. Yeah, you don't, but you have to.
And what precedent is it setting for star players going forward? I get all that, but then I actually looked at some numbers, dude. I was talking with my buddy this weekend. Yeah. We were talking about this, actually. He's like, I wonder what the percentage of the cap some of the star defensive players were like when we were growing up compared to like what TJ would be getting with this deal. I took a look. Ray Lewis, this was his 02 year.
Was that the MVP or no? I mean, the Depot year or no?
I don't know, but this is like in his prime. This is probably he's 26, 27. This was his big deal.
Because that's me in like high school, and I remember that's when I was like hardcore Ray.
I just did really simple math. It was the amount per year that they signed for divided by what the salary cap was that season. Because it probably continually went down as the years went, just because the salary cap went up, but the per year stayed the same. But at the time, Ray Lewis was 10% at 02, 07 Polamalu. 5% of the salary cap. 11 Polamalu, 8%. 09 Harrison coming off the deep boy. Wanted to throw an edge rusher in there.
Thank you.
6.7% of the salary cap.
What was... Because Willie's deal wasn't bigger than Debo's. Yeah. Oh, man.
TJ Watt right now at $30 million to the 2021 cap space. It'd be a little over 15%. So that's my reason for concern right there. So that 15% might go down as the years go by. It might go to like 13, 14, 11, 12, whatever it is, just because the salary cap's going up. But I just named off some like studs.
You did.
And we saw how, now to compare the money and what the market is, we've seen how some of these edge rushers have gotten paid recently and the team's success. So that's kind of like just my point of why I'm concerned.
Because I would say we talked about this in terms of the edge rushers that have gotten paid.
Von Miller's was after the Super Bowl. Frank Clark's is big time. He's got Mahomes though, and if anything, they're just overpaying him.
Heck, I don't count Frank Clark as like dude, he's balling, but he's not like I look. He's at Chris like Jones top 5. More, like Chris Jones, I feel like stirs that drink out there, but Frank is nasty. But that situation is different. I think of like Myles Garrett. I think of Joey Bosa. I think of Khalil Mack. Honestly, the only defender that I can think of that still led his team and was balling was Aaron Donald, but he still had Gurley and Goff when people hadn't figured out Goff just yet. Yeah. Sheesh.
That goes back to the quarterback thing, because look what McVay just did just to get Stafford.
Yeah.
Even with him having Donald.
Another move too, man. Sony Michel out there now.
I did see that.
Yeah,
I did see that.
Too for them.
People are talking about Bell with that one.
I like Sony better right now.
But you could see why I'm concerned a little bit.
Yeah.
That's all. But at the end of the day, we're trying to win this year. TJ Watt's a pretty damn good player.
Gotta pay him.
It's going to happen. I'm not going to feel great about it, but whatever. Because the outlier, or I don't know if you want to say outlier, but a team that did the opposite of like paying dudes like this was the Patriots with Chandler Jones.
Yeah.
They won 2 Super Bowls. They got Cooper back. They had got some picks. They had the salary cap space where they could sign, I think it was Stephon Gilmore and Dante Hightower. Whereas like Chandler Jones, he still bowled out with Cardinals. And they didn't win anything. So it's weird. It's I'm telling you.
Like you said, the 30 is a lot. But you got to do it, bro.
And Chandler Jones wasn't even like this money.
Yeah,
at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a sizable contract, but
oh man.
That's how the Patriots went about it. They used that cap space to sign other positions like Gilmore, Hightower.
Now
build the defense that way.
Now it's gonna be interesting too, because I did see somebody bringing up Khalil Mack's 2022 cap hit, which is going to be about 14.5%. That's gonna be. I want to know once TJ does get his deal done, as those years progress, how that plays out, right?
Because like I said, I'm just going really rudimentary per year. Cap what it is, because they finagle those. Like one year it might be 10, the other year it might be 20.
Right.
I'm just going off like a per year basis.
Yeah. Now, I've seen this keep coming up. We talked about this a little bit when we were first bringing up the discussion of would you pay TJ or not. Alex Martinez, he brings up TJ Watt having 0 sacks in the playoffs. Does that deter you?
Not really. I view it as more of impact on defense, salary cap allocation, and what that means for winning.
But now, how do you feel
how
about that when we think of the players in the past that have gotten paid here? They've gotten paid typically after they've had success in the postseason. You talked about Debo, you talk about Willie, we talk about Troy, right? All these guys have had impact games and they've done stuff in the postseason in big moments, right? With TJ, we haven't seen that just yet. And I know that is one of the reasons why people have been saying well, I don't want to pay him like that to pay quarterback money. I need those type of plays. And these are the players that were doing that. And they didn't even get quarterback money. What was your thoughts on that, man?
It actually plays into my point a little bit. But I think I'm giving TJ the benefit of the doubt on that one. Just because last year was just weird, man. It was just weird. With all of our injuries and stuff and just how that game went.
Well, because I've heard the person say that as well. And the rebuttal to that was, well, even in the midst of that, it wasn't like they just stopped throwing the ball. We could see if TJ had got like a sack on a first down or was a random second down, but then Baker and company, they complete a third down and long. It still wouldn't be a knock on TJ's performance. We would say, yo, he had 2 sacks. We got a sack and a half or a QB hit. But we never even saw that. And I think that was the other reason why when we keep saying, oh, well, that game kind of got out of hand. That was the other reason why the people were bringing that up as well, man.
Because it plays into my point of just asking, like, how important is an outside linebacker when it comes to winning?
That. You definitely said that.
It matters, obviously, because you've had some crazy-ass stretches of outside linebackers and edge rushers, which have led teams to victory. So it's just tough because now you're going off that and trying to predict TJ going forward.
Right.
I don't think because he had 0 playoff sacks, it means he's not going to go off in this year's playoffs. That's what I'm thinking with it.
I heard you.
That's what I'm thinking.
I hear you going off in this year's playoffs. You better be making the playoffs, man.
Oh, yeah, we will.
Okay.
We will.
Okay.
But to think, we didn't make it in 19, quarterback situation.
Okay.
And then 18, we got screwed by the refs and all those balls missed field goals. You know I stick with that. But he didn't have a chance to be in the playoffs those 2 years. If it was a multiple year thing, I think there's more of a case for it.
Yeah.
But outside of his rookie year, if we're just gonna hang our hats on that Browns game, it goes into my point and why you don't want to pay him $30 million. But I still think he's gonna be really productive though. That's my point. It's not like the productivity is gonna be just washed away.
Yeah.
I think it was just one game really.
And then the other part of why they were having an issue with paying TJ Watt. We know he subs out. We know that if he gets fatigued, he'll tap out. And it's not an issue. I mean, that's what he was taught. I know when he was here, when I was here in Pittsburgh, that was what we were all doing at the time. Now, granted, it's different now, but that was how he got introduced to the NFL. I've seen people where they said, man, if you're paying a guy quarterback money, you're not allowed to come off the field. Where do you fall on that, man? Like, would you have an issue if you're seeing TJ tap out in a critical third down? And it's Cassius Marshall on the field. I say that because we saw that at times.
I would
in the playoff.
Wait,
no,
am I missing? I was gonna say, was I missing something there?
No, Cassius played, but he didn't come in for TJ. No.
Okay,
I don't think he did. I don't remember he did. But if that were the case, because he does sub out
in critical moments, but does he do it in critical moments? From what you remember, he wasn't being paid $30 million.
Right, he wasn't paid $30 million, so I wasn't looking like that. Yeah,
exactly.
$30 million.
No, I would have a problem with that. I don't have a problem with general subbing out to catch a breather, though.
Yeah,
especially for the edge rush position. Are we just saying Khalil Mack and Von Miller never do, or never have?
They don't, but they give you lazy plays though.
Okay.
Whereas like Donald subs out, but Donald, his 40 that he's going to play are going to be A1 amazing for 40. Whereas Myles Garrett, for example, he might play 60 plays. You can pull up 20 of them where it's like, bro, what is this? Like with TJ, he doesn't have that on his tape because he does sub out. But because of it being TJ and because of when you sub out, sometimes you feel that drop off. That was another part of it. And then obviously the thing is, oh, well, when he subs out, man, how effective is he when he comes back? Like, does he get out of rhythm and things? Like, I'm like, man, it's TJ Watt. I don't like, he's instant productivity. Like he cooks. But that's the other argument, though, in terms of just the sub in and out with him.
Yes, I would be pissed off if it was like a 3rd and 6 or something. We needed to stop a big playoff game, division on the line, whatever it is. I would be pissed off about that, but just not the general sub out stuff. Okay. I'm not that upset about that. I don't know how you feel. You feel the same way?
Yeah, because for me, I tell you, I would, if you can give me 40 great plays at a 10, give me 40 plays at a 10. I don't want to see those 20 plays where it's a 5 or it's a Pittsburgh 7. We grading on the curve. I don't need to see that. I don't want to see any of that. I hate that. That's why I'm not a Jadeveon Clowney fan. I'm like, yo, you'll give me a couple plays where it's special, and then the rest, you're conserving energy. I don't want to see that. Give me what you have. Come out for a couple plays and then go back in. Don't just stay out there for the sake of, well, I gotta stay out here. Nah, I'm not a fan of that, man. Not a fan of it, bro.
Either way, still concerned about paying a dude $30 million that isn't the quarterback or your franchise quarterback.
That is
because, dude, honestly, outside of, there's probably only 6 or 7 quarterbacks that I want to pay the franchise quarterback money. I'll give Josh Allen that because I do think out of all the young quarterbacks, he has the most potential, hands down, out of any of them.
Over Baker?
Easily. But outside of him and the dudes that have already done it and have proven to be franchise quarterbacks that have won Super Bowls, I feel bad about paying. I mean, Deshaun Watson before all this stuff, I think he's good for $40 million. But outside of them two, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, I don't know how good I'm feeling about paying any of these other young quarterbacks $40-45 million either. It's the franchise quarterback where you're like, I'm banking this on you, and that's it. Those are the only guys I feel good about paying $40-45 million. And obviously the number's going to be lower when you're not quarterback, but that's the type of money I'm only giving to franchise quarterbacks. That's it.
Bring up a good point.
I think
I can understand it, man. I definitely can understand it. I can definitely understand that, man.
So that's that, man. I don't. It's gonna happen. I don't feel good about it. I will feel good about it if he's balling out, but then I won't be surprised in 2 or 3 years we're looking back on this contract when we're trying to figure out our salary cap space, and then we're asking, "Wow, is TJ worth the $30 million? Is he make that much of an impact? Who do we have to let go because of this?" So that's.
Can I talk to you about something real quick, bro?
Go for it,
bro. So you see my shirt, right? You like my shirt?
Yeah.
It's really smooth, right? This is that into.
It's got some good initials, huh?
Well, you know, I'm an AM guy, and I'm always into being into me, and this is by Into the AM. But shout out to them, man. Like I said, man, I love this material, bro.
I think I have the same one, right?
You do. This is the basic, their basic tee, right? This is the navy blue. I like the navy blue. But we also seen I had the graphic tee on last time with the spaceman where I told you I went upstairs, right? And I forgot that it glue in the dark, and it started glowing in the dark. And I freaked out, scared wifey a little bit. But that's what they got. That's the type of material they rock with. And they got a couple deals going on right now, too. Couple of deals.
Let's hear about them.
You know, you got to talk about the deals, right? So the first deal they have going on at Into the AM, on these basic tees like this, you can get 3 of these for $45. I'm talking high quality. It feels good, breathable. I like that. But then also on those graphic tees that we talked about as well for all my researchers, my galaxy travelers out there. 3 for $60 for those. But this is the big kicker, because, you know, we don't just do deals that anybody else can get, because anybody can get that deal. I'm into stacking good deal on top of good deal. And the way we do that is by having a code for you, baby. That code is MOATS10. But the link is right there, intotheam.com/MOATS10. And you'll get 10% off of your purchases along with, so check this out, right? They do these memberships where they'll send you a shirt a month. You even get 10% off of that membership by using MOATS10 as well. Ooh. So like I said, man, we stack promo code, we stack deals for y'all, because if we gonna talk about it, we got to make sure that it's for y'all. So with that being said, check out Into the AM so y'all can get some fine clothing like this, baby.